If you go online and look up boomer shooters or arena shooters, you will see a multitude of videos praising the genre, from its gameplay to art styles, but what you don't see praised is its story. It is apparent most boomer shooters don't have any story. The best you'll get is a text scroll, or if their game is feeling it, voiceover at the beginning, in between levels, and at the end, which is only used to set up why your character is where they are. Doom Guy is on Phobos because he was sent there to investigate an experiment gone awry, and that's it. No examination, exploration, or expanding on that premise, you just play the game. The obvious reaction to what I said is, this is what they are. It focuses on the gameplay, the story is just a vessel for the gameplay. What are you trying to say here? What I am trying to say is that the lack of story is what puts me off playing these games. And to be more specific, the lack of presentation. I am fine with it being a simple plot. I'm not asking for the premise to change, just that the premise should be presented in a cinematic way. What I'm basically asking is not to be a different story, but for the story presentation to be more cinematic, which may lead many to think I want a 50-hour Uncharted level cinematics. To that I say, I don't want that. What I want is that the story to be presented in a cinematic way, with the right amount of cinematics, which has been done already. Doom 2016 Internals show you can present the genre in a cinematic way without losing the genre's identity. And games like Metal Hellsing is another example in the genre that still retains its identity, but is a much more cinematic. Now you could argue that those games aren't as cinematic as other games, but they're a lot more cinematic than Doom, the first Doom game, or contemporary arena shooters at current time. All I want is more arena shooters to be more cinematic, because when I played Quake 1, I just don't get it. I feel aimless in so many ways. Why am I here? What am I doing? What is the player character? Why is the player character not reacting? It frustrates me as it puts me off playing. And to those who think what I want is okay, yeah, is not the case. What I'm asking is that the game is presented in a cinematic way that fits with the premise. So for example, in Quake 1, it would be cinematic as so far as to show you that you are playing as Ranger, who is stopping an interdimensional invasion of Earth, having characters here and there to explain some stuff and give direction to the overall story. Nothing more and nothing less. And this is what I would like. Because what makes me want it to be more cinematic is because the gameplay is fun. It's great to run around with an arsenal of weapons, massacring hordes of enemies. As you progress through the levels, comes more enemy variety and weapons that shake things up to keep it fresh. And it sucks for all of that to not have the story be present. Otherwise the world doesn't feel alive. It feels static. Nothing that you do means anything beyond the gameplay. And while I get that the games are primarily just for gameplay, I would love more games in the genre to take that approach to be presented more like Doom and Metal Hellsing. It makes the gameplay much more fun, more engaging, because there is a lot more point to it. But that is just me. I'm glad that the genre still has made a huge return, and that people who love it are getting so many games out of it.